Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Bottled Up Podcast. I know it's late, I know I'm releasing it on Saturday evening, usually it's right out there Saturday morning, you wake up to it, I know what y'all do, you get your cup of coffee, you sit down, and the first thing you do, you don't open the newspaper, you don't do anything else, you listen to the Bottled Up Podcast. I know that's what happens. Nobody even has to tell me. That's just what everybody does, and soon it's going to be a worldwide phenomenon. From New York City to Beijing to any other city in the world. I was going to come up with another but couldn't. But first and foremost, I couldn't come up with another one. I'm a NASCAR guy, and I like NASCAR stats, and this podcast gives me a perfect excuse to go and look at NASCAR stats. So, for what would be yesterday's truck race, Friday night, May 17th at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we had, as anyone can expect, Kyle Busch winning it. In second, we had Poole, Friesen, Rhodes, Crafton, Hill, Gilliland, Alfredo, who finished 8th, our personal favorite here on the podcast, Anthony Alfredo, Grant Enfinger, Ross Chastain, rounding out the top 10. And I know we talked about a giveaway with Anthony finishing in the top 5, but as I mentioned, he finished 8th, unfortunately. So there's not really much we can do, and sorry about that, but rounding out the top 15, that's what we're going to go with. Harrison Burton, Sheldon Creed, we got Dipple, Little, Anderson rounds out the top 15.
Wait, I'm here to give some free merch away.
What? Who just... Anthony, what are you doing here?
Here to give away a hat, of course.
Listen, man, it was a top 5. You finished 8th. It was a hell of a run, but you finished 8th. Not top 5.
Top 5. Hey, 8's good enough. We can give away a free hat, and plus I already picked the name.
Okay, who won?
I think we got a username of Bradley Sparks 16.
Okay. Bradley Sparks, you've won the hat from the Anthony Alfredo merch store. Just shoot me a DM on Twitter. The DMs are open. Slide into my DMs, as Kevin Harvick would say. Let me know. Give me like a mailing address. Tell me which hat you want. There's a bunch of selections. Just tell me which one you want. I'll send that out to you right away. Are you going to co-host the whole podcast with me here, Anthony?
No, I've got some All-Star activities I got to get back to. We may do something tonight when it comes to an All-Star race on iRacing. I don't know yet. See how the schedule looks. But have a good one, Jeff.
Oh, okay. Good talking to you, Anthony. Thanks for stopping by. And like that, the man is gone. And we had a very 100% legitimate Anthony Alfredo. I guess the giveaway has happened. Bradley Sparks, you are the winner. We had Anthony stop by and confirm it. He's off for some All-Star Race activities, not in the Cup Series, but on iRacing, in fact. And knowing Anthony on iRacing, it's probably not going to go too well. Anyways, speaking of the All-Star Race, here we go. We have the qualifying, and the race hasn't been run yet, but it's 6 p.m., which is just about when this podcast should go live. We have the All-Star Open, and then we will have the All-Star Race at 8 p.m. The Kevin Harvick Millennial Car. I am beyond excited about it, as you all can tell. I was hyping it up last week. I think it's the best marketing, 100% by Busch Beer. I love it. I think it's hysterical. You got the Yeet, the avocado. I don't even know how he pronounces it. Avocado. Avocado, I don't care how you pronounce it. Kevin Harvick pronounces it strangely. That's all I know. But we got the avocado toast on there with the Yeet. Skirt on the skirt. We had a cursed image from the video. I will never get over Kevin Harvick's face with the subtitles of skirt. I will never, ever get over that. That's absolutely hysterical to me. But, as I said, the Kevin Harvick Millennial Car is starting third. 0.264 seconds off of the lead time set by none other than teammate of his, Clint Boyer, assuming we're racing in France. But Clint Boyer took the pole, Kyle Busch second, Harvick in the Millennial Car third, Austin Dillon fourth, Truex Jr. fifth, Ryan Newman sixth, Eric Jones seventh, Johnson eighth, Blaney ninth, Joey Logano 10th, and my man, my pick to win it, Chase Elliott in 11th. I think he's going to pull it off. If you all remember, I believe it was 2016, that battle that he had with Kyle Larson in the Open, I was going crazy watching that race on TV. That one was earlier in the day. That was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if I recall correctly. However, we also have Denny Hamlin starting in 12th on the outside of Chase Elliott. Eric Almirola 13th, Brad Keselowski 14th, and Kurt Busch rounding out the field in 15th, a solid 9.382 seconds back off of Clint Boyer and about 4 seconds off of Brad Keselowski. Yeah, that's the split of the field is about 9.5 seconds, so Kurt Busch must have had some troubles. I didn't get a chance to watch qualifying. I was off at work, if you can call it that. You don't work a day in your life if you love what you do. I'm quote-unquote working over at Stafford Motor Speedway. I'm an intern there. It is an absolutely fantastic time. I love it. If you're in the New England area and you are within driving distance of Stafford Motor Speedway, even if you're not within driving distance, find a way to get there. Every Monday night we have the Wild Thing Kart Series, which yours truly will be co-announcing or announcing, depending on if the other announcer shows up. I was told he's a part-time cowboy, and he just goes off and does rodeos at times, and props to him. Honestly, it's 2019. If you want to be a cowboy, go right for it. Go ahead and do it. So, Cowboy Bebop announcer, I don't even know. I haven't met the guy yet, because he was off at a rodeo last week when I was going to meet him. He'll be announcing alongside me. If he's not there, I'll be doing the announcing myself for the Wild Thing Kart Series. I'm going to be down on the track. 6 different series of kart racing. Some kids as young as like 3 or 4 years old are racing these karts. It's pretty unbelievable. They've got the wings on the side. They're pretty much miniature sprint cars is what these things are, and they're karts. They've got all different setups and everything. They run different tires. I've seen rear tires put on the front right, and sometimes I saw one kart where it was all 4 tires were rear tires, and that's just the setup they were going with. What's common is the right front will be a rear tire, and then 2 regular rear tires on the rear, and then the front left is a tiny little, typical front tire. Each kart has its own thing, so if you want to come out and see that and see what it is exactly that I'm talking about, because you're probably sitting there going, what in the world does that even look like? A miniature sprint car with all different tire sizes on it? Come out Monday night, find out for yourself. These things are awesome. The kids are awesome because they are I haven't seen them run yet because we got rained out on Tuesday, but from what I've heard, it's going to be some pretty incredible racing. Friday nights, I'm not doing announcing quite yet. I may end up doing that at some point this summer, but I'm working with the broadcasting team over in the media trailer. Let me tell you, it is awesome. Absolutely incredible. Sitting in a trailer on the side of the track, you hear the cars going by on the outside. We have the blinds closed so we can see the TV in focus, but we're the guys that call out which cameras are going to be used, and my job specifically was I was watching the replays. So I'm keeping an eye on all 4 cameras. We have the director who chooses which camera is shown on the live stream, which is shown all around the track and everything else, and is recorded to the DVD, and is what the race control sees, the guys, the head officials. And my job is to sit and watch, and if there's a wreck, I have to see where it was, if someone else didn't catch it. And with that, I also get the ability to watch and see what caused the wreck, and I'm looking for what cars are beating on each other, and if I see 2 cars are battling for position, I call that out to the director, and I say, watch these guys are good, or something like that. Then there's a third guy in there, and he's the one that controls all the hardware, so he's sending up the replays to the race control, and the race control will call down and say, hey, do you have a replay of that wreck or something else? And let me tell you what, Friday night, May 17th, I didn't get to watch the truck race because of it, but it was some incredible racing going on at Stafford. And Glenn Reed won the main feature for the SK mods, and if you haven't seen an SK mod before, take a second, pause the podcast, or keep it playing in the background, I don't know, but just type into Google SK Modified Stafford. And it is absolutely unbelievable, these cars. So I'm going to do it right here, so just so I know exactly what you're looking at. So you're going to click Images, and the first picture that comes up is pretty much it. You got right in the middle, Hummel Hot Dogs, number 11. If you've ever had a Hummel Hot Dog, they don't sponsor the show. I haven't asked, but they sponsor the number 11 over at Stafford Motor Speedway. He got into a big wreck last night. I believe he drove over the front wheel of another car. There were all sorts of wrecks. We had 2 races take 40 minutes each. So it was a long, long night, but it was an absolute blast watching these cars. There are battles going on. We got people, one guy, got unstrapped from his car, and after this was post-race, walks over, and he's just he's not getting in a fight with the guys, like NASCAR, Tony Stewart, something like that, where they go over and they'll shove something through the door, throw their, mentioning Tony Stewart, throw the helmet at the guy or something. He just walks over to him. There's an official standing next to him. He just leans his head in the window, puts his arms up and says, what were you thinking? What were you doing? And then shrugs his shoulders and walks off. These guys aren't out there for the theatrics. It's racing at its purest form. Stafford Motor Speedway. I'm going to be down in the broadcast booth usually doing that stuff. Absolutely great time. Absolutely love it. So that's where I've been, in case any of you have been wondering. But the All-Star Open is tonight. I'm excited for it. Like I said, Chase Elliott is my man to win it. I think he's got it in the bag. That's just me. But it could be a Ford that takes it. Ford has been pretty good in the past, especially at Charlotte. I really think they've got a chance. And if the Millennial... I'm not going to make any commitments on if the Millennial car wins, but I really do think if the Millennial car wins, Kevin Harvick takes it to victory lane, the internet will not stop about it for, a good 3 or 4 days. And in internet time, that's about 5 or 6 years, I would say. So, also going on, we have Indy 500 bump day. Fernando Alonso is not doing so hot in an Indy car. He went to a backup car, kind of. I guess you can sort of, maybe, kind of call it a backup car if you close your eyes. And if you squint really hard and then close your eyes, you might be able to see how it could be called a backup car. But it's pretty much a Frankenstein. And I'm going to tell a quick story here. So, as you guys know, I run a kart team out in Indiana, out at Purdue University. I absolutely love it. I'm doing it, coming back for a 3rd year this year. But last year, we had, right before race day, right before qualifying day, the morning of, I get a call about 5:30 in the morning from a guy who was working on the kart for us, just getting those fine little details, the last of them done. And I get a call from him at 5:30 in the morning that wakes me up. That's not good. He calls me, he says, Dude, your brakes are expletive. I'm not going to say it. This is a family-friendly podcast. Dude, your brakes are expletive. Get your expletive over here right expletive now, because otherwise you're not going to be able to expletive race. And I'm panicking at this point. I'm going, okay, we're screwed. We're done for. So I don't let that show. I get myself together. I get over. I make should have taken me about 10 minutes from getting out of bed, driving over there. I made that in about 3 minutes. So jumped out of bed, got over there as quick as I could. And, yeah, the brake lines were just completely gone. Catastrophic failure. And we're going, okay, we've got 2 options. We can try and jank this thing together, and I'm using, I guess jank is like an Indiana-only term. Pretty much just throw something together really quick. It's not good, not great, but it does the job. It's good enough. I said we can either jank something together, or we take a big swing in the dark, and we take the more safe route, and it's going to take a lot more hard work, which is change everything over to a backup chassis. And that's what we did. We changed everything over to a second chassis that I had sitting around, second kart chassis. All it had on it was the brakes and a seat, and that's about it. Everything else had to be put on. No motor, no tires, nothing. So we throw, and I mean throw this thing together, including the engine had to be put on, muffler, the exhaust system with the muffler and everything else, the transponder, a whole setup. We had to transplant a battery onto it, and all of this had to meet the very, very specific tech requirements of the Purdue Grand Prix. And we show up. Granted, it's a whole other story I'm not going to get into. It didn't end up racing that day because there was no rule saying you could change to a backup chassis, and my argument of, I don't need a rule to tell me what I can do, I need a rule to tell me what I cannot do. They didn't particularly like that. I appealed the ruling, and it was overturned because a third-party board agreed that rules are there to tell us what we're not allowed to do versus what we are allowed to do. And there was no rule forbidding us from going to a backup chassis. It had just never happened before. So, go figure. Anyways, that's circling back now that I've killed a couple minutes with that tangent story. Basically, Fernando Alonso, from what I've been told and gathered from postings online and everything else, news stories, is the primary car was sort of totaled. in that they didn't have the parts to fix the main one, but they didn't want to go to a backup because they would be in a bit more trouble that way. I don't know. But they took parts off the backup car and, similar to what I did, sort of Frankensteined it onto another chassis. And I called my kart that I took to the track on qualifying day Frankenstein because it was 2 karts put together. I don't know if Fernando Alonso did the same thing or whatever, the equivalent name of it would be. But the car is running. I don't believe it's running too well. From last I saw, he has been bumped out, which means he has a chance to race in tomorrow, because bump day is a whole convoluted set of rules that I don't fully understand. However, that's how they like to do it, and it makes for a great racing product. It makes for a great racing product that you don't get to watch because it's on NBCSN Gold, which you have to pay for. And I did not pay for NBCSN Gold, so I only saw the last hour, which was televised. But it's actually currently on right now, so I saw bits and pieces of it before I realized, oh boy, I really need to record something. And so I wrangled the whole thing together. We had something done for the giveaway, but hey, yeah, I guess we do have something done for the giveaway now. Anthony joined in. Hey, we're giving something away, and that's where we're at. So, to recap, Bradley Sparks, you have won it. You've won the giveaway. I believe we talked. You said you enter a lot, but you're the winner of the giveaway by random draw. I'll have a picture of that of how we did it to prove it's not rigged or anything. Yeah. So that was one comment I got. Someone messaged me and was like, "Is this thing going to be rigged, or do we all have a chance to win?" And I'm like, No, absolutely. Anyone has a chance to win. Well, it's really easy to rig these things. I know it is. I am perfectly aware of how easy it is to rig something. I easily could have just made a fake account of my own and just given it to myself, which means I wouldn't have to buy a hat. I've seen people do. I know of someone that did that for a giveaway. I guess shame on them. But no, seriously, honest to God, Bradley, you did win. I hope you're listening. Send me a message. I'll post something up on Twitter about it. I'm sorry to bamboozle you all into thinking it was only if Anthony got top 5. I saw that, and I was like, I can't just say I'm going to, give it away, and then, but you have to meet these very specific requirements. No, we're giving something away. We also have another giveaway going on for Noah Gregson. It's the same deal. I don't know Noah personally. This giveaway is going to be slightly different. I kind of want to see that one get a few more retweets. Realistically speaking, the people that listen to this are the people, and the ones that follow me on Twitter that listen to the podcast. There's probably going to be something given away regardless. I don't like putting up giveaways and then, he didn't do it because it's not my fault. I don't have to buy a hat now. Something like that. No, that's dumb. And that sort of comes off as, it comes off as a bit sleazy in my mind. And to people that run the giveaways like that, I have nothing against them because honestly speaking, you set the guidelines in advance. This is how we're doing it. If these criteria aren't met, no giveaway. I don't like doing that. I sort of phrased it that way to get a bit more hype and to get more people entered so more people have a chance to win and more people see the page and everything else, and I don't feel like that's sleazy at all. I'm trying to build up hype around the page and get people to listen to the show because it's a show. I put a lot of work into it, and I know the people that listen to it like it. And yeah, we'll probably give something away for Noah Gregson. But shh, don't tell anyone, it's just a secret with us, just that. But Bradley, you won the hat. Shoot me a DM. We'll figure this out. You're getting a hat. Congratulations, man. I'm really happy for you. You're the winner of Bottled Up's first giveaway, of which there will be more to come. Not always Anthony Alfredo merch, not always just Chevrolet driving merch, because I know Noah drives a Chevy. We'll do giveaways for all sorts of things. Maybe some die casts. Probably not 1/24th scale. I'm sorry, but those are like $80. And I don't have $80. This show brings me in $0.00 at the end of every month from ad revenue. You know why? Because there's no ads. I don't promote things on this show. I really just like talking about NASCAR once a week. However, long story short, more giveaways are to come. If you didn't win this one, I'm sorry. It was a random drawing. Anthony chose the number. Anthony chose the winner. He chose the number, which was then translated into the winner, I should say. Of the people that retweeted, I was considered number 1, and then you go down the list, and number 15 would be Bradley. So number 1 was me, number 2, I don't know off the top of my head, I think it was Zach Bowerman, and just number 15, that's what Anthony chose. I'll put up proof of that Anthony chose it. But I just want to make that perfectly clear, and I won't do this for every giveaway, have like a 3-minute speech on how it's not rigged. I promise you. People work with me here, trusted me here. Bradley, congratulations, seriously. For anyone that doesn't know that's listening to this, follow me on Twitter. It's at BottledUpRadio. I'm doing giveaways. We have a giveaway going. Noah Gregson finishes top 5, giving away a hat. And if it reaches 50 retweets, we're giving away a hat regardless. I'm trying to get more people to retweet that so more people can be entered into the giveaway because that makes it more fun for everybody. So, Noah Gregson, hat up for grabs if he finishes top 5 in the race next week. I believe it's May 25th. Don't quote me. The next Xfinity race, the one that's at Charlotte. You all know what I mean. Noah Gregson finishes top 5 in that race. Hat going out to anyone that retweets it. You're entered into a drawing for one person to win. I made that mistake. I phrased it poorly, and I am sorry. But more giveaways to come. Follow me on Twitter, at BottledUpRadio. Tell your friends. Leave a review. And let me know what you like about the show. Let me know what you don't like. I'm a big boy. I can take criticism, as I say most of the time. If you have something you want to hear talked about on the show, shoot me a message. Let me know. I have more than enough time to talk about things on this show. If you want to hear something, tell me about it, and I will be more than happy to talk about it. Maybe I'll throw your name in there too. Who knows? But I want to wrap this episode up. We're getting around 21 and a half minutes, which is where I usually like to cap it. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really love making these podcasts every week, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it and listening to it. We have the full rundown of the AllStar race. We have who I think is going to win. We have the winner of the giveaway, and we have the results from the truck race. I think we covered just about everything this week. And next week, we'll cover stuff from the AllStar race. I'll probably talk about the Millennial Car a bit more because I think it's hysterical. Make sure on Twitter, at BottledUpRadio. The name is BottledUpAF. I didn't say it. Don't take away my non-expletive family-friendly rating. You know, it could mean anything. BottledUpAF on Twitter. At BottledUpRadio is how you'll find me. Thank you all so much for listening, and this has been another episode of the Bottled Up Podcast.